Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another fun episode of Photoshop Party. Middle of July, nice warm temperatures today for the next 10 days in Idaho. We're supposed to be over 100 for the next 10, so should be fun. Anyway, today we're supposed to talk a little bit about, what did we say we're going to do, Mel?
Restorations.
Restorations. Okay. I don't know. It's Tuesday. I just show up and you guys tell me what to do and where to go. And I'm pretty much used to you guys saying where to go, so.
You got that one covered.
Okay, let's see what happens when I share my screen. Oh, I go into Bridge. Cool. Let's go to, first I got to minimize all the Zoom stuff so I know where I'm going. Let's go to this one. I think I may have done this before for you guys, but I'll go ahead and do it again. This was a restoration that I actually asked her if I could do. She showed me her baby picture and it's like, okay, how about we make that gooder? So at West Coast School, after I got it emailed to me, I went through it with the class and took me about half an hour to do it the first time. And now I've got it down to where it doesn't take quite as much time. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the easy stuff. And I'm going to go into Neural Filters, which is Filter, Neural Filters. And we'll go to Photo Restoration. Now, the thing about photo restoration is I'm going to leave the enhanced face up to 60, which is default, and let it go through. And what happens is it will cause the faces to get crystal clear, and the rest of it is like old-timey, still grainy, which is not good because it just doesn't look right when you do that. So processing on device, you can see at the bottom of the screen, it's processed, and how the face is super clear here. The eyes are clear, the teeth are clear, but the rest of it's still the soft old time look. So I'm going to drop the enhanced face down to about 16 or thereabouts. Scratch reduction, take it up to about 60 or so, and then you wait. And this is done on my machine, which is an old machine, and it's fighting with Zoom, so it does take a while to do. But once it works, it's like amazing. And you can see at the bottom of the screen down here, we're at 29%. It should be moving a lot faster. I should probably do this on my laptop because the laptop's much faster than my desktop for some reason.
What a brilliant idea.
Yeah, well, whatever.
That's all working on the cloud though, isn't it, Michael?
This one's actually processing on device, which
Oh,
means it's
yeah.
not doing the cloud.
Uh,
There are other neural filters that go up to the cloud,
Right.
but this one is actually on the device.
Well,
Ooh.
And that's like, wait, what? I'm going to click OK. Make it full screen and go. History will go before and after. So the longest time of doing this is actually just waiting for it to catch up on my machine. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Remove tool. And on the Remove tool, I have changed the letter of my Remove tool and moved it out of the brushes. And the Remove tool is now R for Remove. Circle that area there, circle this, and you notice it fills in the circle. You don't have to sit there and paint it in like the old days when we had to paint things in. All you have to do is circle the area you want to fix, hit enter, and I have sample all layers, although I don't have any layers right now. I'm doing everything on one layer. And this works off of the machine as well. So we have those done. We're going to zoom in on the faces. And there's a couple of things that could be worked on here. Make a smaller brush, take out that line, take out that line, the line on the ear. Yeah, we'll take out the dots too. I mean, it was a filthy image before it got scanned.
And this is still the remove tool, I presume.
This is still the remove tool. Yes, it is.
You got one
Well-
right below her lip on the baby.
That might be a freckle. I'm not sure. So I'm going to
Oh, okay.
not mess with that. Ooh, got to get those. And up at the top toolbar, you have sample all layers. You have remove after each stroke. I don't have remove after each stroke clicked so that every time you tap it, it would start the remove tool. Then you have to wait for it and wait for it. And then it drives me crazy. I'm not going to take out all the dots on here because that would take a little bit of time. In fact, for that, I would probably use the healing brush for most of the dots. All the little messes there. And we're spinning. There we go. Got one dot there. Let's take that off. We could sit here and tweak the heck out of it, but I just want to show you the tools that are getting used. So right now, here's your before, here's your after. So that's a good start. Let's go and take our lasso tool, L for lasso, and we'll go down the black line there, along the inside of the dress, the leg. And then we'll do the same thing at the bottom, holding the shift key. And hold the shift key down on the left-hand side. And the best tool for this is AI, Generative Fill. So I'm going to click on Generative Fill. I'm not going to type in make red dress, white dress, and leg. I'm just going to hit generate. And I'm going to let it do its thing. And the thing to remember when you're using Gen Fill is on the properties panel that pops up over here, you get 3 versions to work with.
Wow.
And I'm thinking I like the very first one. Although this middle down here kind of, yeah, I'm going to go with the first one. And what that does, it puts it on its own layer. You can mask out if you don't like something, play with it or whatever. I'm just going to do a Command E, which flattens it down. And then on the dress, I see a spot right here. I'm going to zoom in and use the healing brush and get rid of that spot. And the reason I use the healing brush is because it's much faster than the remove tool. The remove tool takes some time. And so far it's not bad. We're getting there. Okay, we got the very beginning to where we're at now. Next thing up, let's go ahead and go to filter, neural filters. And I'm going to go to colorize, and you're going to see the red dress turn blue. What? I think the red dress is supposed to be red, so I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to click in the red area, come up to my color picker, pick some red. There we go. I see a spot here that needs some tapping in. And all I have to do is click on the little picture on the right-hand side and it fixes it for me. And right down on this area, the bottom right, there we go. And I'm going to drop the saturation down only because and add some up in the, and you take a look and there's a little spot down here. So we'll fix that as well. And all I have to do is tap again because I already have the red color selected there. So we'll just click OK. Everything's happy. And that's like, holy moly. Would it take me about 8 minutes or so to pull that one off?
Hmm.
So that's like easy peasy, nice and easy. Any questions on that?
Hmm.
Nope. Okay.
Oh, wait. Do you get charged for that? Meaning, your credits?
If I use a generative fill, I get charged credits for it.
Okay.
Let's go to manage account. I think it's in. Nope. Let me go back. I thought it was in this area where it talked about how many credits I've used.
No, that's okay. That's fine. I understand that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you get 250 credits a month. And that's a lot of generative fill. But also if you use Adobe Firefly, those count towards your credits too. So just that easy. I can't believe how easy it is with the Gen Fill now. Don't
Yeah.
save.
All you
Mike,
have to, now you
Mike-
have to do now is come up with a price.
Same price you'd normally charge, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just varies, so.
You still got to learn, or you still have to keep educated on how to do it. You know, that would, in the old days, that would have taken hours to do. Now we've got this. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the noise from here just for cause, and I haven't done that with this particular image. So I'll go into the Topaz Denoise AI. And what I do is I'll go through each of the things we have. You have standard, clear, and low light. I'm going to go with clear. Severe noise gets really wonky most of the time, so I don't do that. And you can also click on settings over here where it says auto. You click on settings. And we'll work with that. And be it's a small image, it shouldn't take very long to do. Boom. So you have before and after. That's not a bad start. And then we're going to go into narrow filters. I keep going to the bottom for narrow filters and it's always at the top, and I forget that. Loading. Photo restoration. We're going to take out the scratches. Hey, I said take out the scratches. And it won't take out the scratches around the nose and her cheek. It doesn't see that as a scratch, but it gets most of the others out there pretty good. And again, I don't want to enhance the face to where the face doesn't look real compared to the rest of the image. And I don't know how many people on Facebook are looking at images that get posted hourly, daily, that are AI generated, and people say great photo or great photograph. You look at it, it's like, oh, that's not even a photograph. AI is amazing, but it's not perfect yet. And it shouldn't take this long, but it is. So yeah, Mel, I should be using my laptop. I'm sorry. Dwight, can you sing a song while we're waiting?
No.
Okay.
Still-
I want to make sure you're still there.
You're still watching TV.
And there's a good start. So we'll just add it to a current layer. And so we got a couple of scratches still to fix. Got one down on the left of the jacket. Got a goober there. Something there. But when we come to the face, that would be a challenge. So what I would do is take my lasso tool, L for lasso. Take that, hold the shift key, we'll add here. Make sure we get this little area here. And then I'm just going to hit generative fill down at the bottom. Click on generate and let it do its thing. Being this is a small image, it shouldn't take, and it didn't take very long. And if you're not happy with what it does, you can always report good, poor, and send in the report. Or what I do is just click on the closest one, hit generate, and it's going to go through and do it again. In the next update, which is I think September, they're going to have a button to push that will take the image that you generate and say, okay, this is the closest you've gotten so far. Use this image as a reference and start over again. So that's going to happen in September, I believe, if everything goes right. And that's not perfect, but it's like close. So let's go ahead and take that one, flatten it down a little bit, and then try running the nose one more time just to see what it does. Generative fill, generate, and run. No, no, no. And what I will do is just send that to the trash, live with what I got there. It's not perfect. It's going to take some handwork on it to make it work. So that would be a little bit more work using the clone tool and other things. If we go to neural filters again, go to colorize, you're going to see that colorize doesn't work super great on this one. And here's what the issue that I have with Photoshop right now is I want to match the colors here. So I click where it's not working. And now I've got to figure out where in the heck the color range is to make it match. And that's probably the hardest thing to do, is to match the, oh, I got lucky this time. Matching the colors is probably the hardest thing to do when you're playing with it. So if I do the door up here, click on the door, it's going to turn it that brown color to start with. All I have to do is click on the color swatch underneath the picture on the right. And we're going to go into the grays. And see if we can get it fairly close, see what happens. There we go. That's not bad. And click OK, everybody's happy. That nose is really, really bad. So what I would have to do is figure out a way, well, that's even bad too. So let's take a look at this. L for lasso.
Looks like a Jimmy Durante nose.
Yeah, no kidding. Take out that cheek area. Helps if you hold the shift key down when you do that. Let's see what happens, just for fun. Click on generative fill, generate, and everybody's happy, maybe.
So when you hit the shift key, it doesn't recognize the fact that once you hit it, it would hold that, the circle. You have to keep holding the shift key down for it to recognize.
Yeah, what you do when you hold the shift key, it's adding to your selection. So
Right,
you have to hold it down the entire time you're doing the selection.
okay. That's not too bad.
What would happen if you typed in nose and after you selected generate? Or can you do that here?
Well, let's try it, see what happens. Let me zoom in so I know where I'm working. Lasso. Normally it recognizes that you're working with a face. So we'll type in the word nose because it knows. And then you wait for it and wait for it. And that, oh, I like the second one the best. I think it did better without. Let's take the word out and then generate again, see what it does. Yeah, it's just blurring it out now. It's not even coming close, so.
I've gone online sometimes and tried to find a face that looks similar, a nose that looks similar, and take it and do it. No color.
Yeah, that would be one way to do it for sure. Going and get a stock face or something where you have legal access to it. Not that you're bootlegging somebody else's picture, but doing a stock image and doing it legit.
You could probably get close by selecting the right side and flipping it.
Yeah, that'd be
Lighting.
another way.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a little bit of a problem with the shadow, but it'll get you close.
We'll do a Command J, Command T, which is free transform. And then what I'll do is flip horizontal and then drag it off to the right. And then what you do is just mask it out. Once you find the mask button, B for brush. Opacity right now is set at 10%. Well, let's see what happens. Make my brush a little smaller. 10% is not going to do it. Let's go to 60. And what's happening is I'm painting and painting and painting. And guess what?
You're gonna have to flatten it.
You're white on white.
I'm white on white. Thank you very much. That's exactly it. So I'll just hit X.
That's better.
And as I start getting closer in, I just use the edge of the brush. I'm not using the whole center of the brush on top of it. I'm just kind of painting with the edge of the brush just to get it to where it's masking out.
It kind of looks like she's got a bloody nose now. Now this could probably have to work on that shadow.
Yeah, that'd be, just flatten it down again, make a new layer. Let's go ahead and paint with B for brush. We'll go to 10% opacity. We'll go to screen mode. Let's go ahead and select this color here. And you see I'm painting with screen mode right now, which should be lightning, which it is. And it's painting with that color. And then I'll sample the color again right here. And we'll go to, let's go to color mode because it's a little bit light there. I could do multiply, but that got rid of her bloody nose.
Pretty close without much work.
Yeah, it's Photoshop's doing most of the work for me. I still got a lot of light on her cheek there, so B for brush. Let's go to multiply. And I'm going to take it down to 5%. We'll select this color right under the cheek and just kind of and I'm working with the mouse and I'm not working with my tablet, but it kind of, you can see what it's supposed to do. It just kind of darkens down that area really good. In fact, this area is probably too dark and I have to lighten it down. But you just look around the whole image and see what you can fix and what needs to be taken care of. But in Photoshop, there's 10 ways to do everything, and I'm using all 10, it looks like. Start with this image. This is what I was giving in the beginning. They want her on the right and the lady in white on the left. So all you got to do, probably the easiest thing to do is select the ladies. So let's go ahead and get rid of all those layers. Say goodbye. And what I want to do is go to the W tool, which is object selection, quick selection, and magic wand. And I'm going to go to the object selection, and it lets me pick who I want to select. So first thing, we'll select her, and then also select the trophy as well. So I'll just go to lasso, hold the shift key, L for lasso. Hold the shift key and select the trophy as well. So I take both of them. A little bit on the hands down here that I'm missing. And the easy part is you hit Command or Control J. Brings her up on her own layer. And we'll do the same thing with the lady on the right. Turn that layer off. And we'll go to W, object selection. And now she's selected. You can see the marching ants going around her head. I would do a Command or Control J. Whoops, almost missed her flower. L for lasso. Hold the shift key. I think I've got it all. Command J, which brings her up on her own layer. So now I've got two ladies up on their own layers. Turn them off, go back to the original image. We'll select the lady on the right in the white. I'm going to Command or Control click on her on the layers panel. And I'm going to hit generative fill. Hopefully it won't work. Actually, hopefully it will work, but most of the time it doesn't. I've had where it put a Doberman Pinscher in there. So obviously that didn't work. So we'll go back, drag it to the trash. Thank you for playing. Have a nice day. R for remove. And for everybody else, it's in the brush tool, not the R tool. And I'll hit enter. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that it makes it easy for me to drop the selection in, but if not, we'll go to plan B. And you sit here and you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Now, if I wasn't doing this live, I would speed it up and instantly have it come out. But we're doing it live, so we can't do that. And it's okay when you use the remove tool to go outside the lines, because then it gives it a chance to look at things, say, okay, this is what we need to fix. And we're almost done. Okay, that's a good start. So we'll take this lady, V for move, make sure we're on her layer. Yeah, I want this layer, thank you. So we're gonna have to fill in the sleeve right there, which is no problem. And then we'll take this lady, make sure on layer 2, drag her over, set her in place, and now we can see what we need to select. So we'll take our lasso tool, select this area here, which is the head that stands out. Her dress right here kind of stands out. We'll try generative fill again. That way it only has to do a little bit. We'll see what happens. And it did absolutely nothing to the back of the head, which is okay. So if we just take this, B for brush, sample that color right there, make it a bigger brush and say, instead of multiply, we'll go to normal. Opacity, let's go to 100. So it casts a little shadow up there from what I did. So let's go ahead and sample his suit color. We're on that layer. For some reason, it's still going dark. So let's go to screen, drop the opacity down to about 30 something. Let's go to a lighter area. And it's still going dark for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because my layer is on multiply mode. Let's go back in history a whole bunch on the brush tool. And change it from multiply mode. Let's go to normal. You can see that it's screened out there. Okay, now we need to deal with this area right here. So we're going to make our own layer for that. And what I'll do, sample that color right here, go to a super small brush. Make sure I'm at 100% opacity, not in screen mode. I want to be in normal mode. In fact, let's make it a little bit smaller just for fun. And now it looks like they were actually there except for right here. So let me add another layer behind her. B for brush. Sample the color here. Make sure it's in normal mode. Make stuff disappear behind her. Or if you want to include the texture, you go to your clone stamp tool. Select the sleeve area. And it should include texture, but it's not. Which is, I don't know why. Because it says current layer. Okay, how about we do all layers? And that would include some of the texture in there, but if you back out, you're okay.
Have you ever used that head turning thing like the guy in the upper left? He's got his head turned to the wrong way.
This guy right here.
Yeah,
I have not, I've played with it a little bit. I would have to select him to pull that off. So let's go ahead, go back to here.
and he's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
Would you consider using Pinocchio?
Pinocchio.
Yeah, there was a thing on there, it was a long time ago with Pinocchio, and you can actually manipulate the whole.
Oh, I know, but it has little pressure points and stuff.
Yeah.
I have never tried that before. So
I
let's
played
add,
with it for a couple weeks and then it was pretty good, but it's too intense.
so we'll go to filter. I think it's under neural filters. I haven't used it for a while.
Well, it was.
Excuse me.
My profile?
I want to say smart portrait,
Yeah,
or there was another one also that was similar.
yeah, they may have gotten rid of it. I haven't.
You know, they do that on occasion to us, just to mess with us. Let's cancel that. Let's go to filter, liquify. I'm not sure that'll do it.
Yeah, clear face. Yeah. But they might have gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
I like the one with the smile though. That's really funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. I think that's under neural filters, but
Yeah,
it's not,
it is.
not showing up in there. Okay, let's go to filter, neural filters.
But I think it's the smart one.
I thought it was in smart.
Yeah, I think it's in smart.
Okay, that's
Expression, it's under expression. Yeah.
surprise and anger. So that's not it. Global head direction.
Oh, there you go.
Let's turn them to the right and see how far we can go with it.
I didn't know that was there.
See? Learn something every time.
Yeah.
I do.
All smart portrait.
Yeah, it's under the neural filters under smart portrait.
Huh.
It's under global. And
Global.
it's not, let me go ahead and click OK. It's not handling it well.
Oh, a little bit.
A little, but not.
No, not great.
I would leave it like it is and say, thanks for playing.
Yeah, you start getting kind of into problems with the shadows too. I was thinking you could flip them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. on that
Now all
one.
of a sudden the shadows don't work well. In fact, if you're really, really nitpicky, the rim light on the gal on the right now doesn't quite match, you know, the light on her dress and what have you.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be darkened down.
Yeah.
This request to strip these two ladies were, did somebody put them in the wrong position, wrong place because the husband?
The photographer put him in the wrong position. And so I was asked to change him out First I wanted it scanned, then she said, can you put mom over here and the other lady over there with her husband? Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah,
Famous last words, guys. I sat there for 2 hours trying to figure out how I was going to do it. And then 15 minutes later, I was done. It's just one of those things that was not simple as I thought it was going to be.
Hmm.
And we did that one, and this one you'd think would be a breeze for the neural filters. So we'll go to filter, neural filters. We'll go to photo restoration, take the face down, take the scratch reduction way up. Let's do a photo enhancement at the same time. Add that. I don't know what that does, but, and then you wait for it. It does an okay job getting a lot of the gook out of it. That's an official term, gook. But it doesn't do a great job. And we're at 25%. It's not a huge file. It's just photo restoration. That's one of the filters that's going to take the longest to run, this photo restoration. So, and when you put Zoom and Photoshop together, it takes a heck of a long time. So if you're watching this on the replay, just fast forward about 30 seconds and you should be okay. For those of you sitting here right now, I apologize. Almost there. We're at 90%. There we go. And you can see it took most everything out, which is good. In fact, what I'll do is I will hit OK. And we'll get started with some other stuff. So we'll go ahead and go to the crop tool, perspective crop, because this line is, well, we don't have to use perspective. We can do regular crop tool. I cleared. And what we'll do is draw a line across there to straighten it. And then just drag the lines in. And that's almost there.
I was thinking that might have been a good thing to do before
Before I did anything.
you did anything, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking I was going to try and see if it would take the little fuzzies out of the side thing, but it didn't do that.
Yeah.
So go to the healing brush, take this guy out, take that one out. And it looks like the crop didn't do perfect, so I'll hold the shift key at the bottom and go along the side there. So that gets rid of the edges. And now we'll go back to the neural filters and colorize. This should work pretty good.
Wow.
I'm sorry it took so long, but holy cow. That's like totally amazing.
Oh.
Obviously the
And then you can kind of tweak it and put it in Topaz to kind of sharpen it.
his right shoe, our left side, didn't come out great. Got a couple of helps if you go to layers and it's flattened. Okay, we'll go to the remove tool. Take that, take that. I don't like the telephone line in there. I'll take that out. And voila. So you want to see if we can sharpen it in AI? Let's give it a shot. The question always comes up with Topaz and Camera Raw. Which one works good? The Topaz denoise or the Camera Raw denoise? My answer to that is it depends. Sometimes you have to play with both of them to see which one works the best. doesn't always work well. Okay, that's like, over sharpening a little bit, which might be good though for showing something else. Okay, the best one right now is out of focus normal, but let's go ahead and go up here to where it said too soft, too blurry, and it over sharpened where everything's really crispy. I'm going to do it on purpose. And there we go. I can zoom, I think. See, it's a little bit crispy on the grass area, a little bit too sharp. So we'll go to Edit, Fade Topaz AI, and drop the sharpness down a little bit to say 2/3. If you make any other corrections, so if I went and added a new layer, then changed my mind, drag it to the trash, I go up here to edit. Fade is now grayed out, so you can't do anything. You have to do whatever corrections you're going to do as soon as you make your first correction. So once you run the filter and you want to fade it, then you have to do it right away before you even put another layer on.
You know, Michael, what kind of works for me sometimes is to duplicate the layer before you do the
Yeah.
sharpening. And then just pull your opacity down between the layers, because the sharpening is basically on the edges.
Right.
And you can mask, you can mask the areas that aren't over sharpened. And as you change the opacity, it tends to get those crispies on the edges, like of the trees and stuff like that. It tends to soften those.
It's almost like running the fade filter, except you're right. When you do that, you just drop your opacity or drop your fill, either one, and then you can mask it out what you want to keep or don't keep.
Right.
And again, what we have to do is go through and do some cleanup, go to the healing brush. Hopefully it works. Not great, but it's working. The healing brush compared to the remove tool, the healing brush is a lot softer. The remove tool is more almost like AI generated, to where it will actually do the work and not soften everything up. So like right here, take that out.
I had a debate on that with somebody, and I went to, because they were relying on somebody's YouTube video that said it wasn't AI. So I went and searching Adobe, and Adobe says it is AI.
Adobe says it is AI, but they're using images or your image, not going to stock photos to actually
It's
get the
not a
rest of it.
Firefly type thing.
Right. And it's not Gen Fill,
Right.
sort of. All I can say is the remove tool blows me away.
Yep.
That's I don't care what you call it. If you don't want to call it AI, that's fine with me. I just know it works.
Well, we're getting tangled in some of the rules is what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some groups are just saying, well, you can't use AI at all, and then all of a sudden now you get into a Firefly or Gen Fill versus the remove tool, and
And
starts
when you look at Gen Fill, are you looking at the text generated Gen Fill, or you're looking at the non-text generated, to where it's actually working more with your photo than you telling it, okay, I need a sun in the sky, or I need you to
Right.
match. Like if we did this, draw that there, and we'll type in match sky. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I've done it a couple times where it did work. And it's funny what it comes up with. That's the one I'm looking for. The match in the sky.
It's a mess. Oh,
So I
Uh,
don't know where to go with that one. So
that's funny.
that's a good one to end on.
Yeah.
Give what you ask for, literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Bitches, gripes, complaints. That's kind of funny when you match the sky and put a match in there. GenFill and the AI stuff is just every day coming along and growing faster than anything. Before we started, Mel and I were talking before about rules for generative fill AI. I'm on the committee in Idaho for working on our rules for the next print comp in the spring, and talking about, okay, you got the difference between generative fill and text generated generative fill, which are two different things. Because you can use gen fill to fix the hair or something really quickly, or fix a little small problem, where text generated fill, you're adding a background, things like that. So
Hmm.
it's here to stay. We just need to figure out the rules and hope people play fair.
Yep.
Not gonna happen.
Have you noticed images? I saw a thread on Facebook this morning where somebody posted to Instagram or something, and it tagged his image as AI generated. And his claim was all I did was generate some sky to make it the right square crop or whatever he was doing.
I haven't seen
And
it
he
do that.
he
I
couldn't
haven't
figure out
seen-
how to get rid of it because he pulled all his metadata and it still showed up.
Yeah, it's still going
So-
to show.
Adobe's
guess-
hiding something in there that codes that.
And if you go to Firefly, they even tell you when you start to run Firefly that they're coding stuff in there, so you know that it's there.
Hmm.
And I'm kind of glad they do, because if you look on Facebook today, all these images of landscapes and animals that are, oh, look how cute this picture is. Well, the baby has 6 fingers. And I know that does happen on occasion, but that's one of the problems with AI is you can tell it's AI by looking at it. The color tone seems to be the same every time you look at it. And people are saying, what a wonderful image this is. Like, no, it's not. It's computer generated. Yeah, it's cute, but it's computer generated. Thanks. Thanks for playing and have a nice day.
Hmm.
So, any other questions or comments out there? Going once, going twice.